Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Ronin's Den. Today's edition is Winry's Whimsical One Shots, and presenting today, Perils and Princesses. I'm Steve. As always, I'm joined by my co host, Eric. We are joined by our wonderful friends, Joe, Kara, and Howard, and we are introducing Laura. This is your first time playing with us, and we're so happy to have you here. Laura, why don't you introduce yourself and let the audience know a little bit about you?
Hi, friends. I'm Dice Whisperer on TikTok. It is a pleasure to be here. I love all things D&D. My current fascination is figuring out 2024, and I am really excited to play Princess Harmony.
All right. I am now going to hand things over to our fairy godmother, Kara.
Alrighty, I am Kara, Karafish27, and we're gonna get right into this one shot, the Rosewood Crown, which is from the Perils and Princesses source book. And thank you to Ryan Lynch, the creator and artist for Perils and Princesses, for letting us use the beautiful artwork on stream tonight. So, the
Thank you,
background
Ryan.
for this story, yeah, seriously. Once upon a time, there was a princess named Alicia who ruled over the humble village of Willowbrook, nestled amid the lush embrace of the forest. The villagers of Willowbrook revered Princess Alicia. She was their guardian. Her rosewood crown, a gift from her fairy godmother, gave her the ability to channel the powers of nature and protect the villagers from harm. But even in the most enchanting of tales, darkness has a way of slithering into the hearts of the unsuspecting. A cruel conjurer, Velisar, preyed upon the princess's kindness. He stole the princess's crown for his own nefarious purposes and broke her heart. Vanishing into the depths of the forest, the sorcerer left no trace behind, leaving the princess bereft, her heart heavy with sorrow. Ages passed, the crown was forgotten. The only relic of Princess Alicia is a moss-covered statue in the town square, with Alicia's mournful likeness carved in stone, a princess without a crown. Now, you all grew up hearing the tales of Princess Alicia, her betrayal, and the lost crown. While they were fun and exciting, you never imagined that they were much more than bedtime stories. But recently, each of you in your own hometowns had a strange interaction with a reclusive old beggar woman in the town square. After sharing what goodies you had with her, she thanked you kindly and left. As she went on her way, however, she dropped a strange old folded parchment. When you looked up, the old woman had disappeared. Upon the parchments were drawings of a crown, strange markings, and what looked like a map leading deep into the forest. Something about the map reminded you of those old stories and compelled you to follow where it led. And here is where we will introduce our princesses. So, why don't we start with Princess Penelope of Cherry Acres?
I am playing Princess Penelope. It's not what it says on my little name here from the video, but that's normal. I uh, am a big-hearted princess that enjoys sharing with others and empathizing and listening. And my special ability is the healing arts. I like to believe it's more words of wisdom and encouragement rather than literal magical healing, like a morale boost, so to speak.
Nice. And I forgot my little thing. What would be one little amusing anecdote or little vignette that would happen as you travel through this forest for about a week before meeting everyone else?
Um, I don't know.
Ooh,
uh,
let's take a look at your gifts. Your gifts are
okay.
healing.
Yes, I can
What's something that
smooch
could make
hostile
sense?
creatures. So maybe
Perfect.
I was attacked by a ravenous and oversized raccoon, and I gave it a tender kiss on the forehead, and it was just like, oh, okay, cool, and just wandered off on its way.
I love that. That's fabulous. All right, let's turn it over to Princess Fern, played by Steve.
Hi, yeah, I am playing the fierce Princess Fern, the Wild Heart. She is talented in hunting, fishing, wayfinding, and foraging. She can speak with the woodland critters and summon them to help her in fights or just for various tasks like cleaning the house, stuff like that. Also, she has a magical roar that can scare people away. So, yeah, fierce.
What kind of little adventure would you have had on your own before meeting up with the others?
I assume it's something with animals. I assume that she got sidetracked trying to save a lost
Aw,
fawn or something. Like, I'm sure a mother deer was like, I can't find my baby. And she's like, I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
that is very princessly behavior. Fabulous. Next, we have Princess Harmony, played by Laura.
Why, hello, darling. I'm just so pleased to be here with everyone. And well, as you notice, I'm wearing a bright pink poofy dress that has enabled me to dance and perform in the theater. Of course, those are two of my favorite hobbies, in addition to makeup and music and general merriment. Um, and well, I will say that over the last week or so, I was working on a production in the forest with my woodland creatures called "So You Think You Can Prance," and
Yeah.
it is our latest little venture into dancing and merriment. And well, I'm excited to see what's in store for us today.
Beautiful. Next up, we have Princess Rosemary, played by Eric.
Yes. So what do you want to know? Where are we starting with this one? The little anecdote?
Sure. Wherever you'd like to. Anecdote's great. Sure.
I think we'll just do the anecdote. I imagine that I got a little sidetracked at a local merchant stall going through all of the ingredients in the goodie bin. Ooh, what can I make with that? Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, another piece of candy. Ooh, I can use that. Just stocking up on my way
Which
out.
is perfect for your princess because her gift is kitchen magic.
Yes.
All manner of cooking, baking, brewing.
Goodies in the pockets.
Hmm. Sounds delightful. And finally, we have Princess Arabella, played by Howard.
So, Arabella is very stealthy and very spirited, very ready to get into whatever adventure as quickly as possible, but also do it trying to be unobserved. I feel like when she got this, she would take off into the forest very determined, but get lost into the forest for a little while. But because I'm from Starlight Cove, once it hit dark and I was able to move through the forest a little better, finding the stars and everything, I was able to actually traverse it fairly quickly, but better at night than the day.
Wonderful. With a fairy godmother and avatar of the moon, that makes perfect sense. Well, after about a week of traveling through the forest, and in fairy tales, you come nearly simultaneously upon a massive, towering oak tree as wide as a house in the center of a clearing. Its massive roots form a tangled web radiating outward from it, and gaps between the roots look almost like doorways into another realm.
Mm.
You realize that you have reached the mark on your maps, and you see that there are others in this clearing with you.
Oh, other adventurers come to explore the ancient city.
Well, I met an old beggar woman who dropped this piece of paper, and I thought it was fascinating. So here I am.
Oh, I also met an old beggar woman, but more importantly than that, I was wondering, do you dance? Or rather, do you prance?
I
I,
am
I,
not much of one myself, no.
All right.
I,
Well,
I,
yes.
I twirl.
Well, really? Well, we can be friends.
Okay.
Abuela's going to come out and go, you all speak of a older woman who gave you paper.
No, she dropped it, and I picked it up, and she was gone.
Well, the same thing happened to me. I gave an old woman an apple, and when I turned around, turned back, and gone. But piece of paper.
Similar.
My
Right.
paper more danced in the wind, but yes, similar.
I bandaged up an old woman's knee, and she just dropped it in my knitting supplies afterwards.
She had an extremely talkative raven.
Like it squawked at you?
No, it talks. I can talk to animals. You can't?
No.
Darling, what did it say?
It wanted crackers. And then we had a discussion about how I don't know what a cracker is. And then I remembered it meant biscuits. So I gave it some biscuits. And then the old woman talked about something, and I don't remember what. And then she dropped a piece of paper, and I went to give it to her, and the crow and the lady were gone.
Do you have any extra biscuits?
No, I ate them all. Well,
Oh.
the crow ate 2 of them, and then I ate the remaining on the way here.
I
I
heard you.
do have some nuts, though, that I picked along the way.
Wait, you're hungry?
May I? May I have a little nourishment for the road, for whatever awaits us?
Sure. Here you go.
Thank you.
And there's a
I also-
chittering, skittering noise as a small furry animal runs across the roots of this massive tree.
Hey, you there. Hi.
Who? What? Me? You see a little
Yeah, you.
chipmunk. Huh? What?
Yes, you.
What? Who? Me? What?
Yes, you. You. What's up with this tree?
Oh, it's an oak. It has really good acorns.
Ah, wonderful.
But be careful, be careful. There's lots of like holes and things in the ground.
Where are the
Oh,
holes?
it's very deep. It like looks right below it to one of these massive doorway like gaps in the roots. Right there. Do you
And
not
you say
see
they
good?
go down? They go down?
Deep.
Oh.
Very deep.
Oh. Well, thank you for the information. I'm going to give it one of the nuts from my bag. Apparently
Stuffs it
these
in a
holes
jeep.
go really deep. Really deep.
So, I got a question. When you're talking to animals, are you like chirping back at the chipmunk, or are you just talking to the chipmunk?
No, I chirp. I make the animal noises
Okay.
because that's more
Nice.
fun.
He's so cute.
We're just
I like that.
like shaking my head, not knowing what to like take of it.
However, I think it's more like Crunk from The Emperor's New Groove, where it's not
Squeak,
really
squeak.
good. Like it's her voice being like squeak squeak, squeakity squeak squeak, squeaky squeaky squeak squeak.
Yes. Amazing.
I find that
So when you
power
talk to
to
birds, it's chirp, chirp, chirpy, chirp.
Yep. And when it's wolves, it's like growl 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 growl.
Owl.
I probably think that's one of the most interesting and horrifying things ever, because the amount of time I spend in the kitchen cooking things. It's like, man, if I had to talk to these things before I cooked them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want my power if you do a lot of cooking.
Nope.
So yeah, I'm just gonna look at everybody who I assume you're all giving Princess Fern like the weirdest look.
Mm-hmm. Why is she
Look,
talking
the
to
the
food?
chipmunk said that the holes go down. They're really deep, and she said the chipmunk he said to be very careful.
And that was very kind of the chipmunk to warn us. We look at the other princesses and be like,
We can do this. I have a parasol. It'll help it's almost like a walking stick / weapon. It'll be fine. We'll make our way.
hopefully it won't come to it, but if anyone's hurt, I can help with that as well. I am assuming we are moving together then?
I think that's pretty
I mean,
smart.
if we're all going to the same, if we're all going to the same spot, why not?
Exciting.
Be safer.
Right. Should I lead the way then?
I would like to note that even though they're technically considered two separate items, I would like to just imagine that my healer's kit and sewing kit are just one bag with everything in it.
Yeah.
Totally fine by me.
I use the same needles for both sewing and sewing up sutures.
Hopefully clean them. No.
Sure.
Would you like me to
We're-
lead the way?
Are we traveling along this tree?
I
We-
think we're going into the roots of the tree.
Is that what the chipmunk said, to go into the roots?
No, the chipmunk said there were holes under the tree that go really deep, like there's something down there. And seeing as how our maps all led to this tree, I assume we have to go down them. But that might be metagaming, but I don't care.
Let's go. Let's go.
If I go a bit ahead, I might be able to warn everyone before we run into danger.
I'll light one of my torches.
So
Keep it
you
low,
want to
though.
lead.
I want to be able to see what's ahead and let everyone know so we can make decisions maybe as a group before getting into a fight or trouble. Maybe avoid it. Go a different way.
What makes you think we're going to get into a fight?
Or
Trouble.
Are there poachers around here that I don't know about?
There's obviously holes we can fall into.
Well, yes, but we were... Okay, you can lead the way. Go ahead. I defer to you, since you're so adamant. Oh, by the way, I'm Princess Fern. What is everybody's names? If we're going to venture together, we should know each other's names.
I am Princess Penelope of Cherry Acres.
Princess...
I am Arbuella of Starlight Cove.
Princess Rosemary of Dream Meadows.
And I'm Princess Harmony of Silverspire.
I've heard the weather in Silver Spire is lovely this time of year.
Oh, you should come visit sometime. Have you been?
I've never been, but my parents once vacationed there.
Well, we'll have to talk more about it on our route. Well, Princess Arabella, lead the way. And with this, Princess Harmony actually pulls out her wooden flute, and she will start to play a song, unless anybody tries to stop her, as they go into the route. And you can imagine it is to the tune of the song from The Wizard of Oz. Like she has no fear in her heart whatsoever. She's just like, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. It is the wonderful. And so she's just playing this, and she's just feeling great about this whole thing.
I carry my torch low enough it's not scorching the roots above us. but also like kind of casually, just like, oh, we need light. That's it. Not like, oh, careful, but we gotta have light.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell the torch is bobbing a little bit along with the song.
It doesn't take very long for the ground to fall away beneath whoever is in front. There is a rather sharp drop off. It's a pretty deep passage down, and you can see roots twisting and lining this descending shaft.
Is it something that's easily like traversed down, or?
It looks pretty steep, and I'm assuming that the torch is going to be close enough that you can use it. It's pretty deep. Looks like it's almost 30 feet before you see what looks like a more level surface below you.
This hole seems fairly deep. Let me see what I can do. Does it look like we can walk down it, or is it more of a climb?
It looks more like a climb.
Okay. Is there something that I can use my grappling hook and rope to try to make a like? I want to set the hook, but not tie it off, so I can almost use it like a belay, like repelling, and lower people down.
Nice. Absolutely. You are welcome to set up your grappling hook and rope to use it in exactly that manner. And with you using that tool, anyone who is attempting to climb down this is going to be rolling grace, but you may do it at advantage since you have the right tool for the job.
Definitely going to use the tool.
Okay, so how is that
I'm
done?
gonna not use the tool, and I'm gonna use my natural climber and get advantage anyway.
There you
So
go.
great. Eric, you roll the d20. Whatever your grace is, you want to hit that number or below. And if you have advantage, you roll 2d20, take the lower.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Question.
I will
How
also
rolling
be
advantage?
rolling.
Nice.
Well, I got a 4. My grace is an 8.
That is
A
a pass.
question
Then.
about rolling with advantage. I
Mhm.
know a 20 always fails. One of my two dice was a 20. The other passed, but the one was a 20. Do you still ignore
My
that, or does the 20?
My understanding is if you're rolling it at advantage or disadvantage, that it doesn't negate. It doesn't work that way, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but that's how I'm going to rule it.
On
That's
my
also
advantage, I rolled a 20 and a 1.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Well, a 1 is always a success, so there you go.
I'm kind of dumbfounded that the first roll is a 20
That's
and a 1.
impressive.
Hell yeah,
I don't
that's
know what
amazing.
that means.
Mm-hmm. Did everyone?
I passed. I rolled a 7. My grace is 14.
Okay, fabulous.
And I rolled a 3, and my grace was a 13.
Excellent. Okay. Just for future reference, if someone does fail a roll, keep in mind that you may use a heart die to give someone else that d4, which they can subtract from their roll. So, something to know
beautiful.
in case rolls don't go this well in the future. Heart dice have two purposes. You can use them to heal during a picnic, which is this game's version of like a short rest, or you can use them in that manner to help out a friend.
There is one thing though I'd like to say as I'm going down this road. I am wearing high heels, so could I just toss them to somebody as I go down? Who could I just toss them to so I don't mess them up?
I'll keep them.
Put them in my bag.
Okay,
Oh yeah, that works
too.
You know what? I'll give one to each of you, and she'll just sort of just throw them. Thank you, darling.
I like to imagine as everybody's going down the rope and grappling hook, just Princess Fern with that one is just like kind of hopping down. Like, what are you guys doing?
Oh, absolutely.
She's just down there like sipping tea when they get to the bottom, just like, what took you so long?
Thank you, Dal. I'll take them back. I'll take them back if I need your help again. I know where to turn.
Alright. As you all make it to the bottom, you see that the tree roots have grown into almost like a cathedral-like cavern. It's lit nicely by the torch that Princess Penelope has provided for you all. There are, in addition, some beams of sunlight filtering their way down from the surface. And the floor is a combination of soft soil and more knotted tree roots. Along the walls, you catch some glints of light, shining things.
Fascinating. This is a lovely, lovely atmosphere.
Princess Penelope, I couldn't agree any more strongly. I think this would be a perfect place to host a music competition. Can you imagine the acoustics?
A lovely little tea party.
A tea party. Absolutely. Now, should we go investigate that bright sort of shiny wall situation?
I agree. We should. What color is the light?
It's kind of like a reflection. So as you get a little closer, it's reflecting off of what looks like about a bread loaf sized shell. And as you get within a few feet of it, you can see that it is cracked down the back of it. It looks almost like a beetle, but hollow and cracked.
Yeah, this it's a shame. If this was a creature, it seems like it was hurt at one point. I'm gonna reach out and touch the crack on the shell.
Okay. What you find is that there's nothing inside. Whatever was there is no longer. It is an empty hollow.
Does it look like it might have been prepared as food and that this is leftovers?
I'm trying to think how to answer that. Really, what it reminds you of is a very, very large cicada casing. Something left behind after it emerges.
Well, I'm going to put it in my pocket.
Nice.
That might make a good soup filler later.
You can absolutely gather that up for sure. As you're
Princess
inspecting
Fern, have
this-
you seen that before? Have you seen anything like this in your travels? Are you not the animal whisperer of the group?
Oh,
Do you not
oh,
love
me?
little creatures?
For some reason, I did not hear my name, and I was wondering who you were asking.
You, darling, I'm
um,
talking to you.
Yeah, so that's something for the fairy godmother. Would Princess Fern have ever seen anything like this?
You certainly would have seen smaller versions of this very easily. Whether you've seen one this big or not, I mean, I'll let you decide that. They exist.
I have never seen anything this big before, but this is clearly just like a bug. It's a big bug. So we're gonna repel ourselves from bugs. And she pulls out this like jar and just starts like rubbing herself with this salve like everywhere. And she's like, here you go.
I'll
Oh.
happily put some on.
It's a I call it insect repellent, and it's wonderful.
Oh,
It
thank you.
stinks
the-
terribly.
I was-
It does not
I was
smell
going to
good
ask
at
what
all.
it smells like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So it
I
smells
don't-
really bad.
so
And some of the
everybody's
dangerous
older.
species.
So you all probably remember like they used to have bug
yeah.
spray that was 100% DEET. Like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it like burns your
God.
skin. It was terrible smelling, but it worked. That's what this
Yes.
is. It's just pure like you're like oh, but it should work to keep the bugs away.
Thank you for this. Thank you. Yes, that's lovely.
As the little insects tend to love me, they like to eat my, especially the mosquitoes. They love my blood.
Oh, well then before you go back to
Cherry Acre.
Cherry Acres, I will be sure to give you the recipe to make it.
I appreciate it.
Nice. As you are finishing up applying your bug spray, looking around the room a little more, you can see that there are, in fact, 2 different tunnels leading out of this place. The tunnel to the west appears quite dark. No light is emanating from that area. The tunnel to the south is equally dark.
All right, which way do we want to go?
I remember hearing an old limerick. West chest meaning treasure, and south mouth meaning food. So how hungry are we?
South food.
West treasure.
This did not help.
Yeah.
I mean, we could always just go in 2 teams.
You can.
There
right
is
ahead.
the look
Split
on
the party.
Kara's.
Go for it.
Kara would love for us to split the party, I'm sure.
No, you totally can. I'll do it. I'll bob back and forth. I don't mind.
Then we've run into
I
a
just didn't
problem.
think it happened this quick. That's all.
There's an odd
But
number of us.
Yes, but I will be fine with one other person. If that's the concern. Who else would be fine with going with one person? I have bows, I have a bow and arrows, I have a hatchet, I've got the ability to call animals if we need them. I am more than capable of going with one other person.
If you can call other animals, I don't mind traveling with you.
All right.
All right,
just-
I will go.
I
with-
don't know if it's a good idea. If someone in your group gets hurt, how can I help you?
Well, then we'll drag them to you. Or I'll call an animal to carry them. It's not a complicated procedure. I can get animals from everywhere. I just sing and they appear. It's like a whistling. It's like, I'm not doing it though, because if animals show up now, it could be a problem.
I'm gonna put my hand on Princess Fern's shoulder. Did someone hurt you? Is this why you're so determined to be such a lone wolf?
I'm not a lone wolf. I'm with 5 individuals, and I'm just saying, if people are worried about the number, I have the ability to handle being in a group of 2.
Okay. If you ever want to talk later, I'm here.
I appreciate that.
I love that we have a social worker in the group, Princess.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Like, okay. Well, what does everyone else want to do? Because I wouldn't mind doing what the majority wants. Does anyone else want to go get a little nibble? Or explore to the south?
I'm fine with either. I just want to kind of stick together. It feels safer.
I
Safety
agree.
in numbers.
I just got excited when I heard food.
Princess Fern, I happen to have some honey. Would you like some?
Oh, I would love to have some honey. I met this adorable yellow bear once that loved honey.
You tell.
His trainer kept him in red trousers.
But not a shirt.
Princess Harmony's going to go into her sack and sort of untie or twist open the honey. Anyone else? Some honey? I have some honey and some trail food. Maybe that could tide you over for a bit.
Yes, if we eat now, then we can go west to the chest.
For treasure.
Excellent.
We'll have to go both directions eventually, I assume.
I don't have a spoon with me. How would you like? Would you like?
I'll produce
Would you take it?
one of my hardtack biscuits and dip
Nice.
it and then hand it.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So Princess Fern is like holding back because she's trained in etiquette, but the urge to just like stick her fingers in is like really strong. But she's resisting for now.
Well, then let's head west for now, and then we can have dinner south after we explore to the west.
After we find the treasure, we celebrate.
Yeah.
Right. All right. West then. As long as everyone's good with that.
Yes.
Yep. Let's go.
Works for me.
As you approach that westward leaning tunnel, you begin to notice several glimmering reflections from this direction as well. They're much smaller, though. And the torch lights up strings tied with little jangling trinkets. You see little bells, bottles, bits of metal and glass strung up in irregular intervals. The tunnel is about 5 feet high, and they crisscross.
So we would have to probably duck down a little bit anyway. And then even lower to go below where these are. Or are they all over the place at various heights?
It is possible to attempt to avoid these. Doing so would require a test of grace.
I'm definitely going to try and avoid them.
Avoiding them would probably be the smart thing to do. If everybody else is avoiding them, Princess Fern will try to avoid them as well.
I like how you said that.
Yeah.
I do just have one question. You don't think they're a musical instrument of some sort?
No, I think that they're a warning device. We may want to be very careful not to touch them.
Oh.
I mean,
They
Okay,
could also
well-
be an art installation, in which case we would be damaging them.
That also.
I didn't think of that. All right, I guess I'll roll as well.
I mean, they do kind of look like wind chimes, so they theoretically anything could be a music device, right?
Yes.
Well, that's
Like
what I
I
was
once saw
thinking.
someone play music with spoons.
My grandfather used his belly as a drum.
He's a man of many wonders.
Did you say that there was light beyond this?
There is actually. Well, let's see how these grace tests go, and then.
Kira, is this
Well,
with advantage or a right straight roll?
If you have a reason that you would have advantage, let me know. But otherwise, it would be a straight roll.
Okay, I failed it with a 20.
Oh, ouch!
No!
Ugh.
Okay, I failed too. Not with a 20,
Well, I had-
I failed.
Kara, I did
Yes.
have a spyglass that I would be able to see further than what I could normally see.
Okay, then yes, you can see that there is in fact light at the end of this tunnel.
Okay.
And with a spyglass, I'm going to say you even notice that there's almost a fabric moving look to that.
Okay.
I passed
But
my
yes,
grace
as-
check.
As you are spying down there, and Princess Penelope is very carefully ducking and weaving, and Fern is reluctantly also avoiding them, and it looks like Rosemary also has passed the grace check. Princess Harmony,
My-
you're trying. You're trying so
Well,
hard.
my dress is very poofy.
It's very poofy.
I
And
didn't account for this, and the shoes, and they're getting caught in
Mhm.
these things. I forgot to take them off again. It's
Exactly. And with a
Large school bag.
clattering clangle and jangle, everything begins to move. And I'm going to say you even caught it so badly with a 20 that like some of them come crashing down onto the floor.
oh dear me. Could anyone help me here? Can anyone help me?
Absolutely. I will try helping her out of the tangle.
Who was at the head of this? Who was making their way like towards the front of this?
I assumed Arabella was, because
That's kind
they
of what I
were
was thinking
leading
too.
the charge the whole time.
Yeah, that was my
Mhm.
assumption.
Yeah. I
Are
haven't
you okay
rolled
with
yet.
that, Howard?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I haven't rolled yet, but I also have advantage on agility checks, and I would guess that this would be
Yeah.
agility.
I would let you go for agility on that one.
Well, I have it on stealth also if I was trying to use that. So
Okay, there you go. Yes, if you're trying to be stealthy, I would allow that for sure.
I got a 2. So I will try
so
to.
you're fine. You're at the head. Just before the crashing jangle, you begin to make out what sounds like voices that are raised in an argument. But it stops as soon as all the jangling happens. Immediately, it's shh, shh, right there, and it goes quiet.
Can I head to who's tangled?
I
Carefully?
believe that would be Princess Harmony.
Can I head to Harmony and start? Because she's tangled, right?
She managed to knock everything down, so it
Hopelessly tangled.
made a lot of noise.
Hopelessly.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take out my sword and start carefully cutting things away to see if I can free her, but not like I'm not just slashing at everything.
Right.
You're like butter
right.
knifing it.
I'm
Thank you.
butter knifing it.
Absolutely. You
I
have
don't
no
want to-
problem cutting her free.
I don't want to ruin.
That's fine.
I don't want to make any more noise, and I also don't want to ruin her dress. It's very poofy.
Oh, thank
We have
you.
to be careful.
Protect the poof.
We gotta protect the poof. The poof is very important.
She brushes herself off. Did she hear the noises or the voices?
That would have just been whoever was in the front, which would be Arabella. So Arabella is the
Okay.
only one who heard the arguing voices that suddenly shushed.
Okay.
We
thank you
must
so much.
be very quiet.
Oh.
There are people here that don't want us to know that they're here.
How do you know that?
I heard them as I was ahead.
Did they say they didn't want us to be here?
They were
Like,
arguing.
If it's their home, we should leave.
I don't know what this is. Maybe if we continue quietly and we can talk to them. I don't know if they feel like we're a threat. I don't know if they feel like they want to threaten us. I don't know these people, but all I know is that these were set up probably as chimes, and the chimes went off, and then they became quiet. I feel like talking might be a good way to handle this, but some people
Okay.
don't want to talk.
Then we'll go quietly.
Okay. With the chimes knocked down, it is relatively easy to navigate through this tunnel quietly now. You come to the end, and you are all now able to see a dim light shining through what looks like a very tattered curtain that is hanging across the tunnel exit. And
I resist the urge to start patching it.
And pushing it aside, you see 3 small, mottled green and yellow-skinned creatures with pointy ears and snub noses. One of them is brandishing a very bright silver, sharp-looking dagger, and the other 2 have pointy sticks. Stop right there! Stop right there! We're armed! We know how to use these!
I'm just gonna freeze.
I would like to use my alluring ability,
Ooh. Uh-huh.
which states that I gain advantage on virtue tests to calm, de-escalate, soothe, or delight person or creature through song or verse.
I love that. That's a fabulous ability to use here. Absolutely.
Okay.
You're gonna sing them to calm.
Yes, I'm going to. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. I'm gonna find you a mockingbird, and if that mockingbird don't sing, and so she's just gonna like do this thing, and as she's sort of singing, you can see that like even her dress, you can see like images of like little birds, like just sort of like imagine like fluttering off of it, like and little pink sparks, like just glowing around her, and like sort of like doves, kind of like flying, and it's all an illusion, of course, but it's so pretty to look at.
Mhm. With that ability, please go ahead and roll me a virtue test at advantage.
Okay.
I think while that's going on, Fern is just gonna lean to whichever princess is closest to her and be like, I didn't know she could summon animals too.
They said
Virtue
don't
is
move.
wait, which die is virtue? Is it a 20 again?
Virtue is 20, yep.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. It says, oh, virtue test. I got to tell you which one. How silly of
Yes.
me.
Okay.
So that would be, I'm going to say physical actions, poison under pressure, mental toughness, emotional will to tap into your inner magic. Let's go wits. Wits at advantage. There we go.
Okay. I passed on both.
Beautiful. The goblins lower their sticks and dagger. Well, that's a really pretty song. I guess maybe you're not here to hurt us then? Okay.
No, we're not here to hurt you at all. These are my friends. These are my girlfriends, my princess pals.
Trademark pending.
Yep, it's a new adventuring team name drop.
Princess Pals.
Trademark pending.
This is now a Saturday morning cartoon.
The one
Ronin's
in the middle.
Princess Pals.
Yeah.
If we ever do a Perils and Princess campaign, that is the name of it right there. Princess Pals.
Princess Pal Power Hour.
It sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon from like the 80s.
Yes.
I want to
I
have
would
a
have
bowl of
totally
cereal.
watched that. It should, like, it'd have to have like pink and purple marshmallows for sure.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
The one in the middle has a necklace of teeth and what look like the remains of maybe some kind of skeleton, like a rat, maybe. I'm Spittle, and that's Sliver, and that's Slink.
I love that all your names start with S's. Are those family names?
I mean, we are like triplets, so yeah.
Very fair. Your parents were creative.
Well, if we see them again, we'll have to tell them so.
Did they ever
Are
get
they
you confused?
kids?
My parents used to call each of us by the other's names. I mean, and all S's seem like a problem.
It does happen a lot.
So
Sometimes they just go, you.
So you're
That's when you know you're in real trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Slink, correct?
That's Slink.
No, that's
Spittle.
Spittle. Spittle, darling. Spittle.
Spittle.
No, I was pointing to the one to the right. The Slink. This one.
Slink.
Oh.
It's Slink.
Hi, Slink.
Hi.
You're not very talkative. I want to talk to you, not to your brothers.
He kind of slides behind the middle one with the dagger. Mm-mm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why are you? Do the three of you live here?
Yes, we do. Uh-huh. And you can see in this room, it is relatively filthy. There's definitely a puddle of questionable nature over in one corner. There's a very odd looking and smelling stew pot sitting over a little fire. And you can see that there are a few little like sparkling bits of metal kind of heaped in piles, mixed with bones, rotten food.
I assume they don't
so.
have a broom.
You don't see one in here, no.
Do
I'm
you
gonna take out
guys
my
know?
bar of lavender soap, and I'm going to start. I'm gonna shave off like a third of it, and then start breaking it into little crumbles and leave kind of wherever I'm.
I am very interested in that
Walking to
stew.
in the air of the room a little.
Mm. Oh, so yes, we totally live here. Mm-hmm. This is our place. So I guess welcome, maybe.
We don't want to hurt you. We just were investigating the area and we saw this little tunnel and we thought it was interesting, so we came to visit.
Are you looking for something specific?
No. Maybe we weren't told what we're looking for.
I think it's more
But-
accurate that we are looking for something specific. We just don't know what it is yet.
But we'll know it when we see it, and it's not you guys. So you're safe.
Okay.
You're all good.
And it's not my sword either. This is my sword. I found it. It's mine.
Well,
We need to
Finders
find
keepers is the law, for sure.
And then Spittle's like, I thought we were still talking about this.
Talking about what?
I thought we were gonna share it. Like, it's your turn today, and then it's my turn tomorrow, and it's his turn the day after that. And then I don't know how to tell time, so, like, something else.
Did you find the sword down here?
No!
And,
It's been it's a family heirloom.
But you said you found it, so it can't be a family heirloom. We're not going to take your sword. I've got a bow and arrows, and I've got a hatchet. I don't need your sword.
Yes, we found it down here.
Well, then you can keep it. We won't take it from you.
You said you
Okay.
lived here. How recently did you move in?
Well, that's been like there's not really like sun down here. I'm not entirely sure. I think we've eaten. He starts counting on his fingers. I don't know. A while.
Do you want to continue to live down here? Like, we could find you a home.
No, this place has great stuff.
Like what?
Well, there's lots of like rats to eat, and there's sometimes shiny things. Oh, all right, fine. So he heads over to like a back corner here where you see a large wooden plank is like stretched across a gap in the floor, a hole. There is a rope tied around the middle of it. So you scurry down the rope, and then down there's this room, and there's like lots of water and mud, but there's also like treasure. It's great.
Like the sword.
Mhm.
And
That's where I found the sword. You got me.
other shiny things?
Yeah, we found some coins I mean, only like 7, but still, that's more coins than I've ever seen in my whole life. 7. Yeah.
Is there something down there with the treasure?
I mean, there's water and mud and tree roots. There's lots of tree roots around here.
But
But
nothing
did you? Yeah.
dangerous. But nothing dangerous?
Not so far. Oh, well, I mean, there is the giant spider. It lives down that way, and it points, like, down the corridor that you came from. Like, over on the other side there. There's a spider over there. It likes to eat goblins. We don't go over there.
Do you want rid of the giant spider?
Yes.
Well, we've got to go that way anyway. So once we're done here, like, maybe we could all eat real quick. You're making a stew, and our friend Rosemary here has been staring at the pot the whole time, so I think she's wanting to eat the stew. So why don't we eat the stew, and then all of us can go and we'll take care of the spider, and you can just hang out with us.
We might need to catch a few more rats. We weren't planning on feeding 10 of us.
Wait, that's rat stew?
Uh-huh.
I think I'll pass.
I've actually very particular. I've got some gastral issues. It's not good.
Well, why don't the 3 of you eat real quick, and then we can all go kill the spider? Or maybe I can convince it to leave.
Can we just stay here while you go kill the spider, maybe? You're bigger than us.
Yeah, but we want to hang out with you more.
How about a deal? Let us borrow your sword. We will return it as a tool to help us go kill the spider. And then you can say you had a sword that killed a giant spider.
Okay, but you'll bring it back.
Pinky promise. I'll extend my pinky.
If you were to come with us, you could say that you killed a giant spider, and you'd be a famous goblin. Everyone would admire you. You take one of its teeth as proof.
I'm really worried. I'm going to lean over and whisper to Princess Fern.
I couldn't hear you.
I'm really worried one of them will get hurt. I whisper to Princess Fern.
I'm not going to let one of them get hurt. They're going to cower the whole time. But then they get a story they can tell that will make them more revered in goblin culture, and everybody will love them and be like, yay, they killed a spider. Isn't that how people get renowned?
Look, if we're going to kill the spider... Oh, what was that, darling?
I was going to say trauma bonding is a good tool, but I'd rather not inflict that trauma upon them.
And Spittle.
What was that? Harmony?
Draws himself up, and he's like, you know what? Fine, but just me. The other 2 stay here. I don't want my brothers getting hurt.
This is going to make for a wonderful tale. I can't wait. I'm really excited.
Then you're gonna try to talk to the spider first.
Well, considering spiders typically don't listen when you talk to them, I will try, but it probably won't work. But at least I can probably distract it long enough for one of you to hit it. All right, Spittle, listen. You're going to be at the back. Just don't get near the spider, but you're going to help so you can say that you did kill it if we kill it.
Aye, aye.
Especially once we open the way for you to do that final blow.
All right. Let's go.
All right.
Princess Fern is like too excited.
No such thing.
I love it. That's fabulous. And Spittle is very much hanging at the back, like, Who is taking the sword? It's really more like dagger sized, just sword size to him.
Well,
I imagine my hatchet and my bow are more powerful, so I'm gonna keep those.
Okay.
Well, my only
gonna keep
weapon
my
is a
sword.
parasol.
Yeah.
And I have a shovel, and I like when things go thwunk. So I'm good.
Well, I have a parasol. If it might be helpful for me to have a sword, I am happy to try to wield it. Unless Princess Penelope would like it.
I do have a sword of my own.
Oh. Well, may I?
Absolutely.
Fabulous. A sword does a d6 of damage. Or sorry, the silver dagger does a d6 of damage. And you can note that down, since you are carrying it for now.
Princess Fern is just not saying anything, but very confused as to why we took his weapon. But we're just gonna keep walking.
We're going to soften it up and then give him the weapon back for the final blow.
That makes sense. Yeah, we're heading down. I think Princess Fern is out front this time, like, and she's not even trying to stealth. She just
No. Yeah.
Nice.
no.
I'm letting you.
Okay.
Fair. You march your way down the...
I'd like to be right behind Princess Fern.
Sounds good to me.
The whole time you just like once we get into that aisleway, Princess Fern is just calling out to the spider like chitter 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 chitter. Basically like spider, I want to talk to you, big old spider person. Come talk to me. I know you're there. Don't jump out at me. We're having a conversation.
I'm going to look at Spittle and just be like,
Nice.
Princess Harmony is going to hear Princess Fern chittling, and assuming that this is the way of the world, she is going to use her innate ability of mimic to perfectly mimic the chittles, and so there will be like almost like dueling banjos chittling along the way. Chittle, 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 chittle. Yeah.
That's great.
I'm gonna say we get about 5 steps and Princess Fern is just gonna like look at you and be like, you can summon animals and you can talk to them? Like, you didn't tell me this when we met.
But
we should be best friends.
We are best friends. We are.
Perfect.
And then we're going to go back to the castle at the end of the day and we're going to have a pillow fight. It's going to be so much fun.
I've never had a pillow fight. This is exciting.
You'll love it.
It goes back to chittering.
Oh my goodness. That's really funny. All right. Well, you make your way back across the cavernous room to the opposite tunnel, which indeed is festooned with ever-thickening amounts of spider webs, and with the amount of chittling, calling out going on, it really takes almost no time whatsoever before a giant spider scurries its way.
As this is happening, can I take out one of my torches and light it?
Sure. Now we can have two torches going. That's fine by me.
Okay.
I love it. It is
How big is the
clinging to the
spider?
ceiling. The spider is very definitely larger than the goblin. It is think kind of like hunting hound size for the body, and then the legs extend out, and it is hanging from the ceiling, peering at you with its 8 eyes, very confused.
I'm just gonna look up at it and be like, "Hi."
Food?
No, not food. Friend.
Hungry.
I could eat.
Eat?
No eating. Hi, I'm Princess Fern. What's your name?
Name?
What do they call you? Ah. Princess Fern's gonna turn to everybody and be like, its name is Ah.
Are you sure that's just not what it hears when people see it?
Yes.
She goes back to chittering, just ignoring that question. Kid, can you leave?
Leave.
Yeah, go away. Crawl away.
It crawls further, a little away from you, and then looks at you. Back the way it came.
Like, out of the tree. Like, to another home. New home.
Why? Why?
So we can go through.
Hungry.
There's
But
a
we're
lot
not
more to eat
food.
upstairs. There's more food up there.
Well, it clearly doesn't understand Princess Harmony when she's not echoing.
So I go
Princess
back
Fern.
to echoing. I just go back to echoing. It sounds like probably very confusing, like the words that Princess Fern's saying just repeated.
I feel like it's just like a millisecond out of sync. So it's
Yes.
like as Fern is on one syllable, you're following up on the very next syllable.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm also mimicking her responses back.
So you're trying to convince it to leave. You are speaking to it, which helps. I'm gonna say go ahead and give me a Yeah, we're gonna go wits. This is like Grace. Grace navigating a social encounter. Give me a
All
grace
right,
there, Princess Fern.
I'm not the greatest at grace, but I will give it a whirl.
You got this.
I can't give myself heart, can I?
You cannot, but someone else can.
Because I got
will.
an 11 and I need a 10. So
Nice. How does Princess Penelope help with the social graces between Princess Fern and the spider?
I'm gonna reach
Oh,
out
yeah,
and
we-
just pat Princess Fern on the back and remember, try to explain that the world above has more food than what wanders in down here.
I'm gonna exactly do that. Like chitter, chitter,
Nice.
chitter, chitter. More food
And
up
you may-
there.
You may
Yeah.
add that heart die to that roll, or rather subtract it, I should say.
Yeah, so 11, meaning no matter what I roll on this, I succeed.
Yep.
So
You do.
that is
exactly.
a 3. So, almost bad. But yeah, I got so 11 minus 3 is 8.
8.
8.
Clicks its mandibles a few times. More food. And it scurries across the ceiling right above your heads and out into the more cavernous cavern there.
Nice.
Very nice.
Princess Fern's gonna turn around and look at everybody and be like, that was easy.
Yeah.
No more spider. Hey, Spittle, you can go tell everyone you scared off a spider.
Yeah. That'll be a great story.
Yeah, it will be.
He looks at whoever's holding the dagger. Sword?
Um,
Or
oh,
or will you
I didn't get a chance to use it yet.
are you staying longer?
Well, we didn't see what was in your little hidey hole.
Can you give it back when you come back to look?
Yes.
Because I feel like it would matter more if it was used for something.
I
Even
think
if
it
I
would
didn't
as well.
use it? I don't know. Okay. I don't really want to leave my brothers alone for too much longer. They get in trouble.
I'll definitely keep them out of
Now,
trouble.
you have the story of the spider.
Okay. Just come back with the sword.
Of course.
100%.
Princess Rosemary, I've noticed this whole time that you're carrying a pot.
Yes. What about it?
I just noticed it and wanted to bring it up.
Well, I use this to make stoops and stews out of almost anything I find.
Why were you opposed to rat stew?
Surprisingly little meat on them, and I've seen them in the pantries doing unspeakable things in the flour and sugar.
What about a rat stock?
I'm just not a big fan of eating rats after, seeing
Fair.
all the things they do with the garbage and the filth outside. It's not a very appetizing looking animal.
Makes sense.
That does make sense. It's like a multi-whammy. Like, they're not exactly hygienic, and combined with the extra work and the large amount of rats you'd need for a suitable meal. No, that makes sense.
Do you have any stew in there right now? Have you been carrying that around full of stew, or?
No stew yet. I did pick up this shell, and bugs, on the other hand, insects, they tend to be pretty good for soup and stews, so I might make something with this later tonight.
Okay.
Source of protein.
So perhaps
All
we
right.
should explore the spider's room and see if there's anything of note in here.
I'm sure if it's 8 things, there's probably a lot of note in here.
Since there is no longer danger from the giant spider, you are able to navigate your way slowly through the webs without getting stuck, which brings you to a wider area with even more webbing strewn through it, piling in the corners, dangling from the ceiling. And looking around, you notice a rounded, wrapped up bit of webbing.
I'm going to poke it with my shovel.
Nice.
Not like hard, but just like
As you poke it?
a little bit.
As you poke it, you hear like a little bit of that ring of like metal on metal.
I'm gonna put my shovel down and just kind of tear a little bit of it. Like tear it just a little bit. See if I can get a peek inside.
Absolutely. What you find in there is a skeleton.
Eek.
It has a rotting backpack and a lantern hanging from its belt, which is what you clanked against.
Lanterns, nicer than a torch.
It is nicer than a torch.
I'm going to take this opportunity to gather up some spider silk, enough for like a baseball-sized ball of it, and place it carefully in my supply bag. Never know when you're going to need some extra thread.
Fantastic.
Is there anything interesting inside of the backpack?
The backpack contains a rusty pickaxe, a couple of flasks of oil, which look like they may go with that lantern, and a piece of parchment with strange looking writing.
What?
Seems like some kind of daring adventurer got in a little over his head.
Apparently, or miner or someone else. But the oil's useful, the lantern's useful, but I don't know what to make of this parchment.
Can anyone read it?
Unfortunately, not I.
Does anyone have a talent that seems like it would be useful here?
Mm,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
Okay.
I'll empathize with my party about not being able to and collect my tears.
If anyone would like to make an attempt to read it without help, that's going to be a test of wits at disadvantage.
I'll attempt to read it. I did have to
Okay.
study to be a healer, so
Can I
Guess it makes
can I
sense.
offer a happy working song?
Ooh,
That is to anyone who hears it can modify a virtue test roll up to a sum.
nice. So is that one of your gifts?
It is one of my special abilities. Simple
You can.
songs.
What I'm going to say is, why don't we have Princess Penelope roll to see if it's needed, and then I would be happy to walk us through that if it is needed.
Okay.
I rolled an 8 and a 4, both of which are under my wits.
There we go. I love that
Nice.
offer though. That would have been a great use of that gift.
It's like the
All right.
song is there, waiting to be triggered for the bonus.
It is
and it's
waiting. I'm attempting to fully maximize my character sheet before the end of
I
this.
completely understand and I love it. That is fabulous. And don't worry, not everything is able to be talked out of things in this place.
That's true.
Just a lot of them.
Oh, darn. I feel like it's so
Anyway,
on point for princesses to try to
I
talk their
know.
way out of stuff, though.
Honestly,
Yeah.
they do encourage you to think of non-combat things to do. So, yes. But anyhow, the words on the page kind of swim in your vision and suddenly they seem to make sense to you. Maybe you've read a fragment of this in some ancient herbal tome, something like that, but they form into the words. My observations have revealed that the crown of Princess Alicia bestows upon the wearer a unique connection to the very depths of the forest. If a skilled conjurer were able to find an appropriate well of sylvan magic, such as the base of a great oak, they might very well be able to use the crown's magic to tap directly into the forest and bend it to their will.
Oh my.
Hmm.
It seems as though perhaps, and I'll be reading this, I'll have read that back as I was reading it. It seems, if I had to guess, someone found the crown, and then I just look at the tree above us, literally rooted into the ground around us.
Hmm. Huh. But
Princess
Why
Alicia's
do-
crown.
is it the tree that's the crown?
I think the tree came because of the crown.
Maybe it's tapped the ground's tapped into this tree. The root
Oh.
might be below where the goblins have been.
Or at least heading that direction.
Are there any other pathways out of this spider chamber?
There are indeed. There is a little tunnel that wends its way slightly downward and around a curve.
Should we keep going that direction then?
I
Yes.
mean, I think we should.
Then let's.
Let's continue. Are we all agreed?
I agree.
Princess Arabella,
you-
do you want to lead again?
I can do so.
Okay.
As we're walking,
Are you
Princess
moving?
Harmony is going to take Princess Fern by the arm because now this is her new best friend. And she's going to say, so,
I love it.
what's your favorite pillow? Do you like a big pillow? Do you like a flat pillow? Do you like a pink pillow, a frilly pillow? What's your favorite?
Pillows. I've never thought about what my favorite pillow is. I think it's the one with the feathers in them.
Oh, I have those. I have those.
They remind me of ducks, and I love ducks.
I could get you a pillow with a duck on it, a duck pattern on it. Would you like that?
Yes, I would love that.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Arabella leading the way. Are you doing so quietly? Granted, your
Yeah.
companions are not so quiet behind you, but
I was going to do it stealthily.
fantastic. You may absolutely roll that check with advantage to see how quiet and stealthy you are.
So, it has happened again.
Hmm.
A 1 and a 20.
No.
Wow, that's crazy. Hey,
I didn't
There's a
do it the
theme
last
tonight.
time, but yeah,
that's all right.
Wow.
it was going to be a
My
crit no matter
ruling
what.
Yep, my ruling's gonna be that, you did just fine. You're far enough ahead of your companions that, like, you get around the corner, which muffles the sound from behind you, and what you see is a chamber overgrown with an enormous variety of mushrooms. There are mushrooms that are as tall as you. There are tiny, little itty bitty thimble cap mushrooms. There are small round ones sprouting from every crack, giant spotted ones. There's a smell of mustiness here, but it's also not entirely unpleasant unless you really don't like mushrooms.
And say they yeah, it sounds like it smells like fresh mushrooms.
Yep. Earthy.
Some cultures.
Princess
use
Rosemary's
mushrooms.
going to love this.
Yeah, I am deeply enjoying all of these mushrooms. Like I am looking for good ones to pick and add to my collection.
Some countries
Nice.
use mushrooms as an emotional.
Are any of your
healing tool.
abilities along that line?
Yes, it's a yes, but let me
Okay.
read. So I have forage, but that's used
Aha.
to replace spent gift dice. Is
Fair.
how it's set up. So it's like
Okay.
it's a
I'm
yes,
going to
but.
say that you can probably still use it to identify which ones are safe to eat, even though you don't have any gift dice to replenish right now. I would
Mhm.
be fine with you using it in that way.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say any kind of mechanic. It just says once per day I can spend time. So
Okay. Oh, nice. So if you guys are willing to spend a little bit of time here while Princess Rosemary is looking, then you are just going to be able to succeed and identify all the ones. If you want to do it faster, then I'm going to have you roll wit.
Princess
I'm in no
Fern is like climbing on top of the big ones and like getting disappointed and then like hopping to other ones. Like she is actively looking for something, but unless someone asks, she just like gets to the top of another one's like, ah, dang it. Ah, dang it.
Nice.
Are you looking for something in particular, Fern?
Yes, I'm looking for a caterpillar.
We did go down a hole into another world that would track.
Yeah, I read it in a book once. This
But
young
we didn't
princess
follow a
met a
rabbit.
caterpillar that smoked.
But we didn't follow a rabbit here. This is not that kind of world.
That's true. That's true. You read that book too?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Would we prefer to do this as a test or spend time looking?
I'm good with just spending time looking.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good to me. And then you are easily able to pick out that there are. Let me find this. I'm gonna roll that. You find 4 thimblecap mushrooms. Everything else in here is poisonous or unpleasant to some degree or other. Let's see, thimblecaps. Let me find it. You are able to eat or add to tea for a boost of creative energy.
Ooh.
They end the conditions of weariness or befuddlement and give you advantage on wits test for a full day.
I am going to go ahead and eat one of them and have my advantage for the day.
Fabulous.
And I'm going to try and make food with them later so everybody can get some kind of benefit from it.
Awesome.
Very fun. Fern, as you're hopping around on the mushrooms, you come across a small pixie sitting on top of one of them with a pile of smaller mushrooms laid out around them, and it is just stuffing these things into its face.
Hi. I don't speak pixie,
Hi.
so I'm just saying hi.
Oh, don't worry, the pixie can talk. I didn't hear you coming.
Well, you were eating and I was hopping.
That looks
What's
like
your
fun.
name?
I'm Bumblebark. Who are you?
I'm Princess Fern.
Oh, Your Majesty. And it does like a really weird looking little bow.
Oh no. I forgot. We're not supposed to give our names to fairies. Are you a bad fairy or a good fairy?
I don't know. How do you tell?
Have you ever hurt anyone?
I don't think so. Not on purpose.
Okay, then I think you're a good fairy.
That sounds like something a bad fairy would say.
Uh,
Oh, my friends are down there picking mushrooms, and you've got a whole bunch of mushrooms. You should come talk to them and meet them. They'd love to meet
Oh.
you.
Okay, sure. I'll come down.
Imagine while all of you are down there, Fern just drops in like to the middle of all of you with a fairy beside her. I mean, a friend.
You meet the most interesting creatures.
What are you all doing down here? No one comes down here. The forest is like really dangerous. Hardly any peoples come here ever, and none of them make it this far.
We talked
We've
the
had no
spider
problems whatsoever.
Well,
Really?
all you have to do is talk to the spider, and you won't have any issues.
Oh. I guess those other people didn't try talking first, because it sure ate them.
Did you see it?
I mean, it's hard to miss. It's really big.
Have you seen other rooms in this place down here?
Oh, there's there's a room down that way, but it feels bad. I don't really go further than here.
She points. Does the fairy point in a way that we haven't come from yet?
Yeah, further in,
What do you
further in,
mean?
further down.
What does
Bad.
bad mean?
This dark. No, not like in an absence of light way, just like a dark way.
Oh, scary.
Yeah, that one.
It sounds like a truly troubling place to be.
That's why I don't go there. But these mushrooms don't like. I mean, you don't find a mushroom grove like this just anywhere. So it's worth the risk. I just don't go further.
Did you often bypass the spider, or did you come in through a hole somewhere?
Oh, we did that. There's like a little like thing here, and if I just fly down that way and then take a left, and then you go like 3/4 up that way, and then yeah, there's a path. But it's kind of small.
Well, thank you for your information.
Oh, it looks like you figured out which mushrooms are good over there. Yeah, you've got all. Okay, good. Yep. Yeah, those are the only ones you want to eat. Just saying. He's pointing at Rosemary's collection of helpful mushrooms.
What about the very large mushrooms? Are those any of that safe to eat?
Not for you.
Ah, thank you.
All right.
They are fascinating.
Should we allow the darkness to continue here, or should we inspect it and see if we can do something about it?
Do you think you can?
I don't know what the darkness is, so I can't say much.
Strange things happen. Roots tangle around people. They grab them. I lost a cousin that way.
Well, then this sounds like we definitely need to go explore and find out what's going on with that darkness if it's hurting people.
Yeah. I mean, you all look big and brave and talented.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, if you got rid of the spider, I bet you can do almost anything.
Well, then
One would hope.
maybe we should go further and confront this darkness.
Let's go. Princess Harmony's going to pull out the silver dagger, tucking her parasol behind her.
All right.
That's
Let's
exciting.
go.
All right. The area that Bumblebark pointed to, you have to kind of push past some of the mushroom growth. The path becomes a little too narrow for you to just navigate easily. And as you all are doing that, Princess Harmony, you feel a kind of a tug, and then roots wrap around you as you are passing near the wall and latch onto you.
Oh, well, this is help! Help!
I'm going to take out my hatchet and start chopping.
Nice. Absolutely. Chopping with your hatchet, that is going to be a resolve. Physical actions.
Okay, here we go. Resolve. I'm gooder at resolve than I am a lot of things. So,
Princess Fern needs assistance. I'll spend a heart die and assist with my sword.
I would love a heart die on that because I rolled a 14 on a 12. So let's hope I don't
I-
roll snake.
I will pull out my sword and assist by spending a hard die.
Okay,
All right, I'm
sounds
gonna
good.
hope that I don't roll a 1. I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Oh dear.
So that is a
You're
13. I failed.
you're
Wait a
chopping
minute.
at the roots, but as fast as you cut through them, more just wrap around.
I'm going to sing a happy working song to Princess
Nice.
Fern to remind Princess Fern to work at chopping away at the vines.
All
And
right.
so it says anyone
Yep.
who hears it can modify a virtue test roll up to, and then it says sum.
So this is where you decide if you are rolling both of your gift dice or just one of them, because you can choose to roll 1 or 2. Whatever
And
you roll will be the total of what you roll. So when it says
Princess,
sum,
I see. Princess Fern, how far are you from what you need to have rolled? How many? One?
Yeah.
Then I will roll one
all right, do
gift.
that.
Okay. This is a D6? Yeah, gift dice.
A
Okay.
D6, correct.
I imagine this is just
4.
like the dwarf song
Okay.
from Snow White, but instead of dig, 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 dig,
Mhm.
dig, it's chop, 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 chop until
Yeah.
the trees are
Yes.
gone.
That's fabulous. So they are able to improve that by 4, but unfortunately, because it's a 4 on a 4, 5, or 6, that gift die is spent for the rest of the day. So you cannot roll it again.
Okay.
You still have 1 left.
Yes.
So is she free from the roots?
She is now free from the roots. The singing has inspired you to fervent chopping, and the roots fall away. And whatever ones are not cut, pull back into the wall.
Fern is going to hug Princess Harmony, be like, I was so scared I was going to lose you.
Me too. But teamwork makes the dream work, darling.
Very nice.
Thanks for your help, Princess Penelope. It was but much needed.
Oh, I wish I could have provided more assistance. But
I think, if I may, I think Princess Harmony is going to take her arm and put it like as if into the center of something, as if she's waiting for the others to put their arms on top and say, Princess Pals forever! Yes,
do it.
here
Okay.
we go.
Doing this?
We're doing it.
We do.
we're doing this.
All right.
If this was an episodic television show, that would be the end of the first episode.
It would be 100%.
Yeah.
But we are going to push on.
We have
In the
two-part.
hopes that we'll finish it before midnight, my time. We shall see.
We have what we have here is the extended first pilot, so it's like a double
Yes.
episode.
This
I
is a
like
2-part.
that. That's fabulous.
A 2-part that weirdly is aired back to back though, because that's how the '80s cartoons rolled.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that you are no longer distracted by the roots, you see that there's actually a curving staircase here leading further down. Stone
I think
steps in a
perhaps
spiral.
I shall keep my sword drawn.
Yes.
Okay. At the bottom of the winding staircase is a long, dark room paved with stone that is now crumbling with age. Roots and vines pierce through in places. And you notice that all the roots lead toward a large double door at the opposite end of this hallway. But between here and there is an elaborate mosaic adorning the wall. Different colored tiles and stones pick out a scene of dark, tangled branches radiating out from a cloaked figure in the center of a landscape. Around them are images of buildings on fire and people fleeing. Atop that shadowy figure's head is a piece of red stone that is carved into the shape of a crown.
I don't think this crown was a treasure that we once thought. Maybe this is something more dangerous that should be secreted away so no one can abuse its power.
Maybe.
That might explain this giant tree with the tangle of roots.
Aggressive.
So-
may be the one currently abusing the power.
So now I'm worried that this old woman got 5 very skilled princesses to come down into the roots of a giant tree to retrieve a crown. What if she's evil and is going to use the crown for evil?
If she's as evil and powerful as that seems, able to track down 5 of us individually, I think she'd hire people a little less morally upstanding.
Perhaps she knew that we were totally gullible and likely to just. Has anyone looked behind us? Have we seen anyone behind us? Is the call coming from inside the building? And I think at this,
Yeah.
Princess Harmony is going to look back to see if there is somebody who has been following them. That they have paid no attention to because they've been so distracted with mushrooms and pillow
Fairies
fights and fairies and all kinds of things.
It literally feels like a movie where like halfway through the fourth wall breaks and suddenly it's all meta.
She whirls around with the poofy dress and a click of her heels, and there is no one there. You do not see any shadowy figures or other figures at all. Just stairs.
Oh. All right, well,
we, should,
maybe not.
we should still keep our wits about us.
I agree.
Wits, one of the stats.
Princess Penelope, I'm scared. Can I walk next to you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll keep the torch where we can both kind of like hold it in between us, not like this, but like right next to me. Then I'm holding it in front of both of us.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there ways further deeper into this underground place from this room?
Was there a door?
You see the mosaic, and you see a double door that is thickly overgrown with roots.
Something tells me the roots wouldn't want us to proceed, but we should try.
So we cut them away?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm gonna.
These roots are mean.
I'm gonna hold my torch to the roots and see if they start doing anything.
Oh, okay. As you hold the torch closer to them, they kind of shrink away from it a tiny bit.
Okay. Does it seem the light or the heat that they're shrinking away from?
I mean, how would you tell?
Fair. By how close before they start shrinking, I would imagine.
Pretty close. Pretty
Okay.
close.
Probably the heat.
It has to be almost right up on them.
The roots are reacting, so they're alive. And let's see if we can't. I'm gonna try and shoo roots away slowly from the door using the torch. Assuming no one jumps in and assists with something else, I'm gonna keep doing this until either
I've still got a torch lit, so I'll
Okay.
I'll assist.
Oh, idea. Probably a bad one though. We also
I
have all
love
that
bad
oil.
ideas. Ooh.
We can splash it on the roots and light it up.
The oil. The oil.
I like it.
Mhm.
I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna burn down the tree?
Ideally, just the roots.
Just these roots.
These ones specifically.
Okay.
Try to keep it very contained to the doors, and then take a deep breath and touch one of the parts of the roots with the torch where the oil has been splashed.
Okay. As you do that, the roots burst into flame, and indeed, they pull away from the door, partly burned away and partly withdrawing, until the double doors stand clear.
Brilliant.
That could have gone very terribly.
Yes. I guess we continue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And through the door slowly.
Yep.
And the doors indeed swing open surprisingly easily, considering how covered they had been a few minutes before. As you step into the next room, a hushed stillness envelops you, and you feel almost a tingle, a feeling of some kind of magic in this place. In the middle of the room, there is a stone slab, rectangular. It looks like, well, honestly, it looks like a tomb, something you would find in a burial place. And every surface here is lined with twisted roots, leading to, oh, I read this wrong. I apologize. Boop. Sorry. Leading to a throne. Rephrase. A central throne. And upon this throne, you see a form. Human-ish? Human once, perhaps. The eyes, however, as they open, are not human eyes. This thing glows with some sort of unnatural fire. And it raises one finger to point at you. The crown is mine. You shall not take it.
I don't mean to be rude, but I think you've seen better days.
Your anger and hatred is manifested gestures everywhere from that crown. It would benefit you just as much for us to take it.
This power is mine, and I shall not give it willingly.
This power has left you alone. By yourself. Wielding you nothing but loneliness and sorrow. Who is this power for? Who does it present to? No one?
He doesn't answer that. Just stares at you threateningly.
Is this like a skeleton?
Yeah, it looks very like picture skeleton with the like barest thin layer of very desiccated flesh upon him.
Would you say that he looks brittle?
Possibly.
Princess Harmony is going to turn to the nearest person to her, which I think is still Princess Penelope. And she's going to say, I can shatter it. But you may need to heal some of the other princess pals if I do that.
I'm ready.
Okay. So upon this, Princess Harmony is going to cast Shatter. Kind of, if anyone has ever seen Mariah Carey like break a glass, it's like such a high note that like everyone is just like, oh, my ear. Like it's that type of thing. All creatures within a stone's throw. Actually, I have told at least one of my friends. Maybe I should tell the others. Plug your ears. Plug your ears. Plug your ears. So this other unprepared creature would take some damage, the sum of the damage, or half on a successful save.
All right. I'm going to say that since this is going to be a rather offensive move, at this point we do in fact need to roll for initiative.
Okay.
And initiative is a d20 roll. You're not adding or subtracting anything from it. Anyone who rolls lower than the enemy will go before them. Anyone who rolls lower will go after. 1 is a critical success and 20 is a crit fail. Oh dear.
What are we rolling against?
You are rolling against what I just rolled, which was a 6.
I failed
Oh God.
critically.
You will be going last for sure.
Oh, yes.
I will double check if there is any other disadvantage to rolling a 20 for initiative.
What happens with a tie? I got a 6.
You know what? Since I'm looking up the rule, let me look that up at the same time. Combat.
Sorry about that.
Combat. No, that's okay. I love it. All right. Oh, wait. Nope. I read that wrong. It's test your wits. My bad. So 20 is still going to be a fail on your wits there. But if you succeed on your wits, you go first. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Anyone
Also,
who
if
passed
you
your
roll
wits, you're going before me.
Okay.
All right, that's me.
Yeah, I went.
I failed.
I succeeded.
Okay, good. You guys can go in any order
Oh,
that you
Eric,
want.
don't you have advantage on wits because of that mushroom?
Yes.
He
I
does,
do
so
have
you can roll
advantage.
that again.
Thank you for
Do it.
reminding
Yes,
me.
I am so glad you
forgot.
remembered that.
I totally forgot.
Here's to eating random mushrooms.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that meets
Right.
my wits. Yeah, like
Then
that's
it
the first
passes.
time eating random mushrooms has been beneficial for me. Yes, that meets it.
Nice.
All right.
All
So
right.
we all meet our wit. Oh,
I didn't.
Princess Harmony, how far off are you?
From my wits is 11, and I rolled a 15.
Okay, that would be hard to.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna give you heart. I am going to be like I'm gonna come up beside Princess Harmony with my bow drawn and be like, let's do this.
Bestie.
Okay.
So you need a 4 on the D4, but why not? We'll see if you get
Okay.
it.
Am I rolling it or are you?
You. I'm
Oh,
giving
God.
it to you.
Here we go. Thank you so much. I wish I could,
Oh,
but I cannot.
Oh.
But I have
I tried.
princess power forever. We'll kill this, whatever this is. Don't worry, we'll be fine.
so I'm going to take my action
Mhm.
first. I'm going to
Okay.
pull my lavender soap and break off little pieces for everyone to put in their ears.
Oh, nice. I love that. Okay. that is your action. Who is going to go next? Whoever has passed their wit. So basically everyone, but
Mm,
I'm gonna launch an arrow.
all right. Go for it. When you are attacking at range, I believe it probably says on your sheet what you roll, but
It's great. I believe it's grace for ranged, and
it's
then
grace for
resolve
ranged.
for melee.
Grace for range.
Hoo-hoo, that's a 1.
Nice. That is a critical. So roll your damage dice, like roll 2 of them, or double them, whatever it is. So
2.
okay, nice. As
I
your
rolled a
arrow,
crit and it.
I hate when that happens. It's
Yeah.
so heartbreaking. As your arrow flies at it, it indeed strikes right toward the center of this creature, but it seems to almost pass, like slide off to the side. It hits something and is rebounded. Kind of smirks at you. You'll have to do better than that.
Can I go next?
Did it just say that out loud?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I have an ability that allows me to
Okay.
take an action after my initial action for attacking.
Nice. There you go.
So I have my sword out. I'm going to it's almost like a dance the way I move. As I move, and then as I come up to it, I spin with my sword, trying to flick the crown off of her head, attacking at her head.
Oh, fun. I love that. Okay. So if you're attacking in a nearby range, that is going to be a resolve.
I beat my resolve. It's a 9.
Very nice.
And I got an 11.
Okay. So roll your damage then.
Nice. I made up for Steve because I rolled an 8 on my D8.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. So you are, as you just said, you are splicing at it, but you're specifically trying to move the crown from its head.
Yeah, and slash at its face. Yeah.
And slash at its face. Okay. And you said the damage was, say that one more time.
An 8.
An 8. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Again, there's something about this creature that makes it harder to hit than you would think. But it does slice in, and the papery skin kind of peels back a little bit. And let's see. I wonder how I determine if that would actually work or not. Okay. It like you catch on the edge of the crown, but it's not enough to tear it from his head.
Okay.
That was a really cool move, though. Okay. Is that the end of your turn then?
That will be the end of my turn.
Okay. Who wants to go next? Who is still before the creature?
I think
we're at Rosemary?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and use some pocket sand here.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, I have this thing for a concoction for magic darts.
Okay.
And what it says, and if I'm reading it right, that's the thing if I'm reading it right. Fire dice, magic darts. Each one of these bolts deals an amount of damage shown on one of the gift dice spent. They can't be dodged. That dice, is that the range? Is that how I'm reading it? When a spell effect has a range of dice?
Right, so the range is dice. If you spend 1 gift die, then you have to be up close to do it. And
Okay.
if you spend 2, then you can do it from farther away when it's arranged like that.
Okay, so I'm gonna spend both of them because I definitely want to be further away. I don't want to have to get too
Okay.
close to this thing because that's scary looking.
Makes sense to me.
And that's a wits roll.
I believe if you are casting, yep, sounds
right.
good to me.
That's advantage, and that's a 4.
Actually, no, you just roll your gift dice. You do not need to check your wits for this.
Oh, okay.
I don't think, if I am reading correctly.
Well, that's my bad.
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure gifts go that way. Where are you, kitchen magic? You are there. Beautiful. Yeah, concoctions. Okay, yep. So this is goodies. Yeah, you don't have to roll your wits. You just roll your gift dice, and it goes from there.
Okay, so I did that. And that was a 9 total. A 5 and a 4.
Very nice, and cannot be dodged. You said
Cannot be dodged.
Fantastic. This thing looks very rough right now. Those darts pierce into him, and he. He is not pleased with that, but it is his turn. And he is going to call down fog. The room fills with a thick fog, making it nearly impossible to see him. It is pea soup in here right now. And that takes us to Harmony's turn.
Well, I don't think I need to see him. I just need to know that he's in the room.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, all right, put in your your soap's in. Okay. And so she has to spend a gift dice to do this.
Okay.
Okay. So the last one I have. Let's see here. Well, good news. I got a 4.
Okay.
Bad news. I have no more gift dice.
Oh no.
So it says so it would take the 4 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
And that is exactly enough.
Yes.
As your song fills the room, indeed. Those of you that are close enough, like, I think at least one of you is right up next to him. Arabella, right?
I am.
Yeah. You see as the bits and pieces of this thing vibrate and then just fall. All sense of animation leaving this. The rosewood crown clatters on to the seat of this throne, and the fog slowly dissipates, leaving the room quiet and still again.
Whew. That was scary.
Princess Harmony is going to, in full paranoia, continue to look back at the entrance from which they came and let the others sort of decide how to deal with the crown.
We definitely
This
shouldn't be
crown
putting
appears
this
to
on.
be made out of some kind of woven wood. It has accent gems along it.
Definitely shouldn't just put this on. Perhaps we should find someone more sagely than the rest of us to examine this artifact.
Well, if it can do this, I think we should bury it.
I don't know if I want to bury something wooden and that can control trees in the ground.
I
But
mean,
if nobody's wearing it, it doesn't. Go ahead, Rosemary.
say if anybody has any more of that oil.
Oh, we could burn it.
It is a powerful artifact. I think we should find someone more learned in mystical history. If this was gifted to the princess that originally owned it by some other being, then maybe returning it to that being is the safest place for it.
I might could have an idea. Seeing as how we're in the forest, and my fairy godmother is the spirit of the forest, I could ask my fairy godmother what she thinks we should do.
Oh God, you brought that
Fairy
up.
godmother! What?
I said, good thing you brought that up because if she can't figure it out, mine's a mystic crone is a keeper of profound secrets.
Let's
Nice.
call them both. Fairy godmothers, come forth.
I got a mushroom for you.
Take her
We
up out
need
of the-
you.
That's fabulous. I love that. All right. Sure.
Kara was not prepared for this.
That's fine by me. That's fine by me. All right. Fern, since you started this, what does your fairy godmother look like?
So her face is the leaves and her voice is the river is the description.
Uh-huh.
I think she's like this mixture of like leaves and water like swirling with like
Yeah.
humanly features, but she's very much a spirit of like nature as opposed
I
to
love it.
like a person.
Okay. Nice. And exactly as you describe, swirling and forming out of the bits of roots and things around, suddenly they take on this different form. You called, my dear.
Yeah, we found this crown. I made some friends. This is
Oh, how
this is
lovely.
Rosemary, Penelope, Arabelle, and that's my best friend. That's Harmony.
Hi. Hi.
But
It
we
is a
found this
pleasure to meet
crown,
you all.
and it looks bad, so we don't know what to do with it.
May I see it?
It's still on the throne. I don't think any of us have touched it yet.
No,
That's totally fair. Oh, I see.
It's right there.
I see. And she lifts it gently up. Oh, the crown of Princess Alicia. This has been lost a long time.
Well, some old woman that we all saw, but very like different, dropped a piece of paper and brought us here. And I don't know, I feel like that's ominous, and I don't want to give it to the old lady. But at the same time, we don't know what to do with it. So, like, should we burn it? Should we bury it? Should we give it to someone who like would use it for good? What, like, we don't know what to do.
Yes. It is bad for power to fall into the wrong hands. Were it I would take it back to its owner.
By owner, do you mean the one who gifted it to Princess Alicia in the first place, or Princess Alicia's tomb?
Princess Alicia, yes. Her monument. It is without a crown. It would be fitting to have a crown.
That sounds lovely to me.
Okay. Thank you, Fairy Godmother.
Wait, does anybody know where that crown is? That monument is?
It's in town,
You
isn't
do.
it?
Yeah.
The former home of Princess Alicia, which is not a town that you live in, but you know where it is. You've heard of it. And depending on how lost you get in the woods, you can probably get there within a few days of travel. Willowbrook. Willowbrook.
Well, then,
All
to
right.
Willowbrook we go.
Yep.
Well, hold
I'm
on.
gonna.
Hold on. We got to
But now
discuss
I
it
know.
first.
Well, wait a minute. I know what you're gonna say, Fern. You're gonna say that I have to give back the sword. But here's just what I want to say. We're not done yet, and so it's really not time to give the sword back. So I just want to keep the sword. We don't
I
have to let them
forgot
know.
about the sword.
No,
Are
it's
you
great.
planning on
Just
coming back here to bring it back when you're done?
let's go.
Our word is only as good as the promises we keep.
It's our princessly duty to
Okay,
keep our
I'll come
word.
back. Well, if you come back with me, I'll come. I don't want to go in here alone.
I
Who's
will
going to carry my
absolutely
heels?
agree.
And okay,
Then
So,
let us
are
go
we
return the
taking the?
crown. I'm going to pick up the crown with my sword and put it in a bag so as not to touch it.
So,
Okay.
but what I worry about is if we put the crown back with this dead lady, somebody's gonna steal it. Like, I know my fairy godmother said it's the right thing to do, or she didn't say it's the right thing. She said it's what she would do.
well,
Correct.
Does this mean we have to?
Good point.
That being
I
You
said,
don't have
doesn't somebody didn't Rosemary say her grandmother was the grandmother of arcane magic and mysteries?
Profound
Who was that?
secrets. She
There we
knows
go. Well,
secrets.
she might know what would happen. Maybe something will happen if we put it on her. Maybe she won't. She'll transform.
All right.
What if she comes back to life?
I'm gonna offer my fairy godmother a mushroom to show up and answer the question.
Nice.
Let's see. Do you have an idea for what that fairy godmother looks like, or would you like me to?
Well, it says crone, so I'm thinking an
Mm-hmm.
incredibly short woman who's old, like ancient old, and smoking like a pipe, like a Churchill pipe, one of those long stemmed
Nice.
pipes.
Yes, Rosemary, you called.
Yeah, so we found this crown, and we're in a debate over whether we should return it to its rightful owner or do something different with it.
Well, why wouldn't you just keep it and wear it?
I'm gonna point over at the pile of dust that was the skeleton wrapped in roots and be like, because that's what was wearing it last.
Yes, I see. Well, it's possible it could be cursed. That is a whole thing. But usually, instruments of power are neither good or bad in themselves. It's about how you use them.
If it was cursed, if we brought it back to its original owner, would that break the curse possibly?
Seems reasonable.
Okay. Well, I think that's what I
It's
want to
often
do.
how it works.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It's often how that works.
Okay. I'm gonna
so maybe returning it to the statue should be our first step and see what happens.
Yes.
All right, then I guess it's decided.
toss her mushroom.
She catches it and poof, disappears.
Ever wondered what the criteria to be a godmother is? Like, can it be anybody? Do you have to be a fairy? Like, what are the rules
Maybe-
to become one?
I
Maybe it's a
wanted to
life
know
cycle.
the same thing.
Maybe it's a life cycle thing. Maybe on our way out, we talk to the fairy up in the mushroom room. Maybe it's like when you reach a certain age or experience, you become a fairy godmother.
Maybe.
Maybe there's an election, other fairies vote on it.
Fern, do you think one day do you think I'd make a good fairy godmother one day?
You sing beautifully, and I've never met one that didn't sing beautifully, so yes.
Okay.
I've only ever met two, and the one that I just met now didn't sing, so I don't know if she sings beautifully or not. So I can assume by the process of elimination that she sings beautifully, because mine does. So yes, you would make a great fairy godmother.
Well, it's gonna be on my bucket list, my princess list.
The little crone fairy godmother seems like Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
I mean, probably. Don't make me do that, please.
All right.
She pooped already. Bye-bye.
All right. I assume we're getting out of here and taking the crown back. Like,
Yep.
Yep, that
Yep.
sounds like the plan.
You do not find your fairy friend on the way back out, but you are able to make your way back up and through the tree. And we will gloss over traveling through the forest to Willowbrook. You get there in the late evening. It is coming on dark. People are heading into their homes, and the statue of Princess Elysia in the middle of town is standing just as you'd heard in the stories, downcast, with a sad expression on the carved stone face.
Would someone like to recrown the princess?
Is it on?
oh,
Is it in yours? Who has it? What sack is it in?
I mean, I put it in the sack I had on me, but I'll present it. I'll pull the crown out and hold it out for anyone that wishes to crown her.
how tall is the statue?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
It's like people sized, and she's up on like a little bit of a plinth, so she's about as tall as you, but up a little higher.
Somebody do the honors.
You
I
go first.
All right.
Okay.
I'll reach up and gently place the crown upon the statue's head.
And at first, nothing seems to happen. But then there's a slight grating sound as the statue lifts its head and shoulders, and the frown turns to a faint smile as the crown takes on a likeness of stone and merges in with the statue.
I've never seen
anyone-
anything like that before.
Have you read a fairy tale before? Has anyone read a fairy tale before? Have you heard of
Yes,
them?
many. Yes.
Oh, well, sometimes there's this thing they say at the end. They say, and then they all lived happily ever after. And maybe this is our happily ever after.
Bringing joy and peace to another.
Indeed. In fact, one of the options for ending this is to ask each of you what happily ever after looks like for your princess.
Are you asking?
And
us
as
this?
we have reached the conclusion, we could totally do that.
I'd imagine mine would be having their own bakery and restaurant, cooking the days away.
living a simple life, tending to the needs of the people around her, patching wounds, fixing clothes, just making sure everyone is safe, happy, and taken care of.
I think Princess Ferns is like a not terrible zoo. Like, just like always has animals, or like every animal you could imagine lives near Princess Fern, and like she's always out petting them and showing them off to people, and there's animals everywhere, and people are like, how does she get, like, what is this long-necked thing that's orange and with brown spots? Like, where did this come from?
I love that.
It's like a Dr. Dolittle thing.
And I imagine she goes to visit Princess Harmony quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Princess Harmony's happily ever after is immediately after this incident, she will be competing in So You Think You Can Prance. And then
Yeah.
I do think she will really want to spend her time teaching others through music lessons and dance lessons, so that we can have more people spreading merriment through the forest.
Nice.
I think
All right.
Arabella will go back to her town and share her story and listen to other people's stories so that people can know that they can be great adventurers also.
Aw. Beautiful. Well, friends, that was lovely. Thank you so much for playing with me.
You're welcome. Thank you for
Super
running.
fun. That was great.
All right. This has been Winry's Whimsical One-Shots presenting Perils and Princesses. Thank you, Laura, for joining us. This has been a blast. Thank you once again, Kara, for running. And thank you, Joe and Howard. I'm Steve. As always, I'm joined with my co-host, Eric. This has been Ronin's Den. Thanks for watching.
All right, stream's off.